Some really good jbay surfers too falling out of the mix, and some big opportunities for the lower seeds to make a jump up the Jeep leaderboard. Right now we're going to see Wiggolly Dantas and Ezekiel Lau go head-to-head for the second time this season. And it's another grudge match. I love it because these two had a very close exchange over there at the Oi Rio Pro in this same round.
As these guys stay together quite often.
Well, they do, and here we go. It's Zeke getting started early.
Big wrap. I mean, completely all the way around, and a layback to match it up, show some variety, and a barrel. I mean, so what a start. As this wave unloads down the line, so strong. I mean, this would be a place that you would obviously think that his talents would be on display. On the forehand, we saw him do well at Bells Beach. So a big right-hand point breaks, and he unloads on this wave. Now that was power surfing at its finest.
Love that finishing turn, really letting it all hang out on that final section. Wiggolly Dantas, the very sharp, goofy footer, also had a strong opener.
Well, you'd say some of the strongest backhands to match here at jbay, this would be one of them. Loves to throw a ton of spray off the tail block, has perfect timing, and he's showing it right now as you see the waves are going off. The tide's starting to fill back in. You know, it felt like it got a little too low there for a moment today, and now with that tide starting to push a little bit, it's on the reef more, and it's just that canvas and perfect speed all the way down the line. So, you know, the scores come out a little bit better for Ezekiel Lau, but it could have been maybe slightly better just because of the impact of his turns. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, about the same size, right? I would say maybe Wiggolly might have a tiny bit more bigger wave, but I love that you get the wraparound cutback and he carves off the whitewash coming back. But these big statement turns, like you said, where he really accentuates and extends himself. You know, that's a committed turn when you're able to lay it out, which he does right there. You see how he opens up his gut, extends his legs and his arms. I mean, because you have to come back from that and keep the speed going, which he does. I mean, there, again, bringing the arm in forward rather than the lay back. And then the vertical tagged it too, hard. I like that wave.
Get the hammer to strike the nail right on the head at the perfect time.
It's so true, you know, and I think a lot of the reason why we see so much spray come off his rails is that timing, where he places that turn and at the right exact time when the vertical face is there, so it sends the spray out the back. And he also does a pivot at the same time as he's carving through the turn. I mean, there's guys on that backhand will like literally just place the board there, but he'll actually place the board there and then quickly carve through it, and that's why the spray goes flying off the rail. You know, whereas Zeke's going out in the face and his carves are, you know, out in the face more, right? So it's not as critical, the section is not as critical where he's doing those turns, but they're committed because he's laying it out. And I think that's the difference, but he also brought the barrel and then the finish move too, which is in a very critical section as well. But you see how he goes out in the face and he lays it out? There's I like that variety comes from that. But, you know, the critical section being is that little spot right between the whitewater and the open face. And that's where Wiggolly's timing, he puts it right in that critical section.
And just tell us about, you know, you've spent so many years trying to qualify for this tour, but now you have such a maturity in your surfing and it's starting to show through. Is this the potential that you want to reach on this tour?
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying. Now I am here. I just want to make good, and I did good in Fiji, so I was taught to try to make a couple hits here and see what happens next.
And I noticed you traveling with your family. How special is that to share, you know, this place with them?
Yeah, it's so good. My mom is here, and yeah, it's a good time. She cooks for me, so that's really easier. It's like healthy and good food, so that's really...
Take a look at the replay here. Carries a ton of speed through the first maneuver. Again, he's able to get that carve cut back, which you don't see that often here. Literally all the way around and redirecting off the foam, which is a good ability to have, and carry a ton of speed and still make it back down the line. Again, he did the same thing, a full roundhouse cutback. So good healthy mix down into this inside section here. Just trying to back up that 8.43 with a solid score, which he's done. He's going to get another wave that's going to be right there near excellent.
Love it.
Take a look at the slow-mo here. I mean, that's the thing too, is that with the ability to slow-mo, they can really dissect how the board's going, you know, and you get to try out a couple different boards and make those adjustments. But right now it feels like Zeke has dialed in his equipment and what he needs to do on these waves in order to get bigger scores, because look at that, there it is. He's got another excellent wave.
Well, let's see what Wiggolly can bring to the party here as we see Dolphins out the back. Beautiful first turn. You can't argue with that kind of commitment. And again, bashing away at the pocket of this wave. A couple of well-timed hits. He gets caught up behind here for just a moment, but still trying to stick with this one.
Ooh. He was able to, this wave stood up for him on that outside section, which of course gave him that ability to really release the tail. This is what he carves down a little bit more. Still a bit more of a snap, and then the third turn here, whacked it vertical. And then this wave runs off without him. He wasn't able to get there and finish the ride, so it felt like we wanted to see just a little bit more, and so we're left kind of waiting. Ah, darn it, we didn't get to see a finish move.
Welcome back to the Corona Open. 11 minutes remaining, back to live action. Wiggolly Dantas, the Brazilian, working this wave over, chasing down an 8.1 to get back into the lead here. Ezekiel Lau in a great position, holding an 8.43 and an 8.03. Wiggolly not too far behind. He has an 8.37, chasing that 8.1 right behind him. Ezekiel Lau locked into the barrel, but it looks like he has gone down.
Ooh, that was a critical error because Zeke was on his way to another big score. See if Wiggolly as well were able to improve. Just trying to think, you know, that gut instinct right out of the gates. You watch, he had to chase the beginning of this wave. But again, he got that big round cutback roundhouse where he gets all the way back around to the whitewash. Nice strong maneuver again, throwing lots of spray, and then goes for the barrel. But then gets a little greedy, and that smaller waves, they don't hit that shallow portion as well, and they don't stay as open. But again, Wiggolly extending through those maneuvers that time. No speed, gets the float, but pulls it down, and then two nice carves. So trying to improve on an 8.0 here, a little smaller wave, but he does finish. So this could be close. Let's see if, again, needs 0.1 more. 8.1.
Has been pretty solid so far, and Wiggolly, he might not get there with this wave peak, but it's going to be another pretty impressive number.
Love your analysis of this. I mean, this is, you know, you've spent a lot of time here in jbay and on tour. Do you feel like this wave was going to be enough to improve?
Now, like I said, it just felt like he was forced to go to in-betweeners, and even though he had more variety in this ride, when you start thinking about the major turns that he was able to let go, that again, it was that backhand snap that was... Well, here we go, having a look at Zeke now, and the boys just getting in each other's grills out there at the takeoff spot. Nice little slice off the top there from the Hawaiian to get this ride started. Climbs up, high line into this barrel. Does very well to squeeze that monster frame into that little barrel. And now he's going to stomp on the tail as he just banks down the line, collecting points on his road. He was kind of second-guessing himself whether he should take that wave off Wiggolly. In this situation, you're out there with a couple of decent scores.
You know, the outside section, he wasn't able to get a huge turn on the outside, more of a cut down, knowing that it was going to start to load up through the inside here, but this is where he got the barrel. Comes out clean, comes out the end of it, and then these turns here are massive. This one, the nice arc. Again, this is the variety, and then layback snap right in the peak of that section. Again, showing the variety in the turns. He's not going to do the same turn back to back.
10 seconds remaining. He's going to have a look at this one. Let's see what he can do. Drops to the bottom, straight up. Reasonably solid first turn, but we'll need more down the line. And this wave's going to get away from him. So the heat comes to a close. Wiggolly left chasing that 8.66. Yep, let's pour some petrol on the fire. Have a look at the heat score totals though. 17.03. Wiggolly, he can hold his head up higher, 16.37. But he will have to bounce back at the next event, the Billabong Pro Tahiti.